Thank you for taking the time to review this grant proposal. This project is called DCLConnect. It's currently gone through maybe about 7 months of development out of our own pocket. It's thousands of hours of combined efforts from a number of developers over the last, half a year. What I'd like to show you guys is where we are right now, what it means to the entire Decentraland community, and why we actually are requesting at this time a grant proposal. So here is a property that I've built. It's called The Block. You can find it if you just go to go straight down on the map. It does have a POI, so you can find it pretty easily. And this is one of the experimental blocks that I use to test out systems just like this one. So there's multiple comedy clubs actually here. There's two different ones. We have Comedy Decentral, which we should definitely pay note to because they're going to be doing some really cool stuff in the very near future. We also have the Creek in the Cave, which is an actual comedy club that used to exist in Long Island City, Queens, but have since actually moved to Austin, Texas. But this is what their old location looked like. And we have a couple things on the property, right? We have a poster where we're kind of pointing out a future festival, and I want to update this. Well, in the current platform or the DCL SDK, you'd have to go into the code, you'd have to update the URL, or you'd have to save it, and you have to redeploy. Or if you're using Builder, you'd have to go in there and you'd have to find it and update it and then deploy, right? DCLConnect is actually transforms your property into a content management system. So here I have the poster. I just log in with the credentials with my private public key. I just sign and come in, and this is readily available. I can tweak the position if I don't like where it is. I can just hit up, and it will update the location of it. I'm just moving it 1 meter up, which is obviously not great, but maybe just a 0.1 might be a little bit better. But this is happening in real time, and it's happening to everybody that would be on this parcel if it wasn't on my local machine and if it was public. I can also go ahead and input these values by hand if I want. That's one thing. One thing I actually want to do is we want to update the time of this festival. So all I have to do is just come in here and just change the URL to point to a different one, and boom. I just updated a poster in less than like 2 seconds. And it was reflected on the live server for people that are currently in the world. So we can actually do these things in real time. The browser is a little bit clunky at the moment, but it does give us a lot of control. What we also see up here in the top in the world is a future update that will likely be rolling out sometime, hopefully before launch, but if not, right after launch, which is, we'll be able to update and move things through this type of widget. This property is a little bit more involved than that. It also has, on the rooftop, we have we do have events quite often, and there's a screen in the middle that we like to be able to just easily control. So if we go to video streams, we can see a list of a bunch of settings. Obviously we can play with the position of it as well, like we just did. But if I want to schedule a specific video to play, like I want this video to start right now, all I have to do is click it, and our video is actually playing. All right, I can pause it, I can disable it. I have control over a lot of aspects of it, including some emission effects. Oops, let's set this to be 0.05, I think might be nice, and I can hit save, and we can start to see it now. The screen's kind of glowing. I can also go ahead and make multiple screens. I disabled it for this demo, but it allows us to use the same texture on multiple video screens. So if we want to have like a cool, let's say, music event, we can have multiple screens just scattered around that have the same video on it. I can also add and remove this audio control bar that we see here on the left, which allows us to, or allows the users that are in your parcel or your property to be able to control the volume themselves. We all kind of hate walking onto a property and then it just blasting, and then you're fumbling around to try to lower it and whatever. It's right here. It was very cool. Right, and we have some other debugging stuff, so we can test out different types of video feeds. This is just to show that we have control over this thing. Let me set it to play now. This is just a different video, but it's very responsive and it's very quick. So this alone, I think, is a really good feature for everybody in Decentraland. I would like these three things, the NFTs, the video streams, and the posters, to be a free tier at launch. So we're expecting to launch in the beginning of 2022, and we want this to be available to everyone. So the user experience for getting into here is pretty easy. You'll just have to add a couple of lines of code to your SDK, which is basically just import our library and make a new DCLConnect object, and that's it. And then from the web browser point of view, you just have to log in, and then it'll know that you're the owner or you're the moderator, or if maybe the owner gave you permission to update these certain things, you'll be presented with a screen like this. So we've done a lot of work. It's working very well. We've done a number of events just previously, and they went very well. We would like to grant money to help us make this user experience a lot better. So this UI, it is a good start, but obviously it can, a lot of things can be improved here. We also have a lot of very advanced features that we'd like to roll out long term, which I do mention in the grant proposal. But I just want to show you guys like where it is right now. It is actually working. You can check out the Deadlands, which is a Deadfellas community project. It is on. You can find it. I'll post a link somewhere in the grant proposal itself if you want to take a look at it. But we do have some early beta testers that are testing out the system. So please join the Discord. You can just go to DCLConnect.io and there'll be a link to the Discord channel. Feel free to ask me any questions. If you want to be an early beta tester, maybe you want to start into getting into some development. But we would really appreciate the grant money just so we could, expedite some of this stuff. So maybe we could even get it in the hands of everybody sooner rather than later. Thank you all for taking the time.